Hey guys, it's Egypt, aka Uniquely Egyptian here. All right, so today is the day that I reveal what y'all been waiting for. Period, point blank. A lot of you probably are like, for those of you who don't know, or if you've watched my other videos, my BBL Journey, my BBL Q&A, I talked about how I had 2 rounds of a BBL, Lipo 360 BBL. I got my arms lipoed on my second round. I talked about all of that. And I revealed that Dr. Dobak was my second round plastic surgeon. I did not ever reveal who did my first round. And I explained in my BBL Q&A video my reasons for doing that. Which I'll give y'all a little bit more again. It's not that I was being secretive. This doctor left a really bad taste in my mouth. You got to think about it, ladies. When you go spend thousands of dollars, to get something done, you expect a good result. You expect a change. People always say, be realistic. Did you have realistic expectations? Did you, what point did you start at? And I'm like, before I got this surgery, I researched this surgery for years before I finally decided to go through with it. And when I say years, I mean more than 3. Okay. I researched this surgery for years before I decided to go through with it. And I had realistic expectations. Like, I know you couldn't be a certain size expecting to look like this. I know some people have to have multiple rounds to get a desired result. So that's not where I was coming from. There was basically no improvement at all. It was like, what did I lay down on the table and go through all of this pain for? Even when I went in to get my second round done with Dr. Dobak, she couldn't even tell where I had gotten anything done, So getting to the point, I had my Brazilian butt lift, my first round done in February of 2018. So last year, February. Had my first round of Brazilian butt lift done. I chose to go to Miami because I'm from Miami. My mom's a nurse. I wanted to cut out, recovery home fees. I don't get a lot of time off. So that's why I chose to go to Miami, because I would have some time to see my family before the surgery and after the surgery. And it's like, I don't know about y'all, but getting something done that drastic and that major, I want my mama there. Like, even to this day, when I get more work there, I don't care where I go, where I gotta fly her to, my mama gotta be there, period. Like, I'm a big baby, when it comes to those types of things. So it was just like a 2-for-1 thing. Like, I don't gotta pay recovery house fees. She's a nurse and it's my mama. Like, come on, y'all. Nobody gonna take care of you like your mama. It don't matter how much money you pay them. So that's why I chose to go to Miami. The clinic I went to was Mia Aesthetics. Now, I will be honest, I had not done my research on this particular clinic. So, my mom, I was talking to her about getting the surgery, how I was ready to get it, this, that, and the other. I had some doctors in mind, but those doctors' prices were like outrageous. I was scared. I'll be honest with you. I was scared to go to the DR or Colombia. Colombia wasn't an option to me at that time because I felt like, everyone was like hyping the DR heavy. DR is a lot of hype around the DR. And it's not bad hype because it's some snatched ladies coming out of there, okay? And some big juicy booties coming out of there. So it's not all hype. But, just being in America, how they condition us that, it's not a good thing to leave our country to go get surgery. They condition that in our brains. So, and this was my first time ever having, any type of cosmetic surgery. Like, I had surgery, when I was younger as a child, but those were for medical reasons, That was something that was necessary. It was done in the U.S., but something that's elective, we hear all these stories and I was scared. So I knew I wanted to stay in the U.S. and I knew I wanted to go in Miami. My mom, after we had been talking about it, she was like, let me tell you something. I meet a lot of girls and they going to this clinic right here and this is the doctor they're going to. She said, they're going to Dr. Alvarez, he's snatching out, and she was telling me like how she saw girls, they were looking good. So I started researching him, went and found the page, went and found, his results. And I'm like, he's actually doing a great job. Like, I like it. I want to go to him. So called the clinic, got a surgical coordinator, went to coordinate with Alvarez. I never, and this was my first mistake, you guys. Honestly, this was my first mistake, and this is why I advise every woman out there who is going to get surgery, read all your paperwork, especially for the first time. Read all of your paperwork that they send you. I was in California, of course the clinic's in Miami, so everything was done via email. And of course it's our first time, so we just so excited, like, I'm about to get a new body, I'm about to get a new booty, like, hey, ah. Read all of your paperwork, okay? So I never, and this was probably, you know, they can argue that it's on me. I never specified to the surgeon, to the surgical coordinator, that I wanted Dr. Alvarez. I never specified that because as a green person, not a veteran in the surgical community, I did not understand, you know, I didn't know that he, you know, wasn't going to be the one. You know, my mom only knew about him at that clinic. She didn't know about other doctors. I didn't know about other doctors. When I went and found him on the page, like, all the posts was Alvarez, 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 Alvarez. You see what I'm saying? Maybe it's my fault for not scrolling enough, for not waiting longer and doing more research out of eagerness. You know, I was just like, okay, this is what I want. I told the surgical coordinator what I wanted, and she told me how much it would be. I'm like, oh, I got that. You know, let's book it. So they start sending you all the paperwork, what you got to do for the labs, the contract, all of this type of stuff. And I'm just, it's like a file, you know, when they send it through your email, you just got to e-sign, 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 e-sign. So I'm just clicking through, not reading anything. Literally not reading anything. Send over my deposit for the money. I forgot how much I had to put down, y'all, but I sent over the deposit and I let that be that. You know, I was just so excited. And I literally booked my surgery so quick. Like, it literally, right when I booked, it was time to get labs done. Because I booked, like, right at the 30-day mark before. Like, I'm telling you, I was ready to get this surgery. I had been planning this for years. So, booked my surgery. I'm sending labs, this, that, and the other. We going back and forth, you know, emailing all the paperwork. She got this, that, and the other. So then she finally, when she sent me, I would have to pull up the email thread, y'all. My brain is all over the place. I don't know what it was. I was just super excited. So I get my, you know, I go back through my emails and I'm just like reading all the stuff. And when I look on the contract, I'm like, oh, shoot. When I really pay attention, because I looked at it the first time and I e-signed it. But when I really pay attention, I'm like, this don't say Alvarez. It said another doctor's name. I was just so, like, now looking back on it, it's like, girl, you should have had more common sense. But it's like, at the same time, I really knew nothing about surgery. And I know it's so many people out there like that don't know nothing, but they just want to get it done. That's why I'm trying to make these videos and give y'all everything that I know. Because if I can prevent, you know, somebody from making the same mistake, then hopefully it helps you. You know, so it said another doctor's name, which I will reveal. Keep watching. I'm just thinking the whole clinic was Alvarez, 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 Alvarez. I'm thinking, like, if anything, this doctor is going to be, you know, in the room with like, I don't know what I thought, honestly. I really can't give y'all an answer of what I thought, but I thought Alvarez would be the main doctor operating on me. And I thought this doctor here was like for what I didn't know or care to clarify why his name was on a contract. You see what I'm saying? And that was very stupid of me. So, and he had just got to the clinic. Like, he had just started working there. And I, like, looking back, this is me putting everything together. That's why the surgery was cheap. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, when a doctor first gets there, they start doing all those little specials and stuff. And I'm thinking, oh, Alvarez cheap, like this, that, and the other. So it wasn't until, you know, I got the, like, pre-op appointment, you know, confirmation that everything kind of, like, hit me and sunk in. And I started getting, like, nervous and worried. So the confirmation and everything, they pretty much were telling me, like, yeah, we need you to come at this time to meet with Dr. Palladino. And I'm like, huh? And they're like, because I'm thinking I'm going to meet Alvarez, you know, and they're like, yeah, you'll be able to discuss all your, you know, concerns, whatever, what you want done, this, that, and the other with him at that time. And that's when it's starting to sink in. I'm like, bro, is he really finna be my doctor? Like, is Alvarez not finna do this? I'm like, dang, like, I just signed all of this for him to be my doctor. Can't get my deposit back. I hadn't paid the balance. Like, you paid a balance off the day before surgery in cash or in card. I paid it in cash, but I hadn't paid the balance, but I didn't want to lose my deposit. And I had already flew into Miami, you know, and made preparations to stay for an entire month. So I was just like, I'm going to go through with the surgery regardless, you know. Like, he worked at this clinic. Again, me being eager to get something done, I was like, he worked at this clinic where, you know, Alvarez results is coming out good. I naively thought, and this is the mistake a lot of women make, just because a surgeon may work at a certain place with, you know, other top-notch surgeons, every surgeon's work is different. Every surgeon's work is different, and it's going to be dependent on your frame as well. So, go to the pre-op appointment. Didn't even get to see Palladino at all. I didn't even get to meet him, you know. So, he had like a physician assistant, or he had someone that was like a step down from a doctor that was working with him, and she came to the pre-op. So I'm literally waiting, you know, around for him. They had me waiting for like an hour after the time I got there. That's one thing I did not like about the clinic, was the professionalism. When they asked you, you know, at Me Aesthetics, when, you know, they would tell me, I don't know how it is now, so they might be like, oh, it's not like that, whatever. When I went there, when I was getting services from y'all were not on time. Y'all were not prompt with y'all scheduling. Whenever I would go there for either a post-op massage, a pre-op appointment, even the day of surgery, the appointment times they gave us, I was waiting for hours or a long time. The day of my surgery, I think I waited, like, he told me to come at, what time did he tell me to come? Oh, I had to be there at 10 a.m. It was either 9 or 10. I think it was 10 a.m. And I didn't go into the OR until around 3:30. And that's not even when I went into the OR. That's when I just went to the back for them to start the IV drip. So I went into the OR sometime after that. So imagine, you know, they tell you not to eat after 11 the night before. So imagine just sitting there being hungry. You seeing people sitting there eating, all that type of stuff. Like, that's like, they needed to get that together. But anyways, back to the pre-op appointment. So with the pre-op appointment, Palladino didn't even show up. So here it is, like, now I'm aware now that Alvarez is not even operating on me. This doctor who I've never heard of, I've never seen your work, you know, none of that. I want to talk to you because I need to make sure you have a clear understanding of what I want, and can we do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, can we do that? Can we get it done? You know, that all my nerves was like, oh my gosh, like, this is crazy. You know, on top of you about to have surgery, you're already nervous because you're about to have surgery, whether it's a trusted surgeon that you know and you want to go to or not. You're already nervous about that. But the extra nervousness and stress on top of now as a surgeon, I ain't even really want, you know? So his physician assistant shows up to the appointment. The appointment, after I waited about an hour, hour and a half to go back from my appointment time, the appointment must have lasted all of 30 minutes. You know, she looked at my body. They had me, like, you know, change into the gown so they could, you know, whatever, look at me. She took pictures, front, back, side, you know. She looked at my concern areas. And you know, she did the consultation pretty much. And I told her what I wanted. I showed her pictures of what I wanted. And she pretty much did the consultation. She told me, okay, and, you know, so-and-so is going to take you down here to pay the remaining balance. You come back tomorrow, they'll be calling you with the time to come in. That was that. It lasted all of about 30 minutes with her. Now here it is. I'm getting ready to have surgery. I haven't met my doctor because he's in the OR operating, but you're scheduling pre-op appointments. Like, it was just too much chaos. And I should have probably listened to my mom. Because she was at the pre-op appointment with me. And, you know, when we found out, you know, it was going to be Palladino, or, you know, when she found out, she was like, you still want to do it? Because she was like, I ain't never heard of him, Tiana. I ain't seeing nobody coming out. She kept saying, Alvarez the one getting it done. You sure you want to do it with him? Like, she said that. And I was just so eager. I'm like, yeah, Ma, let's just do it. Like, I'm going to do it. I'm already here. And my mom is one of those people, she supports me in my decisions, you know, because she feels like she raised me right, which she did. And she feels like, you know, I'm going to make the decision that I feel like is best. And my mom felt like, if my baby wants to do this, you know, she been approved, she been cleared for surgery. It ain't no health reasons. It ain't no health risk. And, you know, she's thinking the same thing I'm thinking. Like, he work at this clinic where Alvarez delivering these booties, you know, he got to be good. We thinking the same. Like, none of us ever got nothing done. We didn't know anything about this, you know. I knew more about it than she did. I'm teaching her, you know. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get it done. So next day they tell me show up at 10. I show up before 10. So I think I probably showed up at like 9:30 the latest. And me and my mom, you know, we checked in. And when we checked in, I was there for hours. Like, I was literally there for hours. They didn't, like I said, they didn't call me to the back until about 3, maybe 3:30, and then I went into the OR sometime after that. So when they called me to the back, they had me change. You know, you got to take, you show up in your robe and your slip-on shoes and all that type of stuff, and you got to take all of that off. You put on like this little paper gown because the doctor is gonna come in and mark you up, do all the markings before you go in the OR and get on the table and all that stuff. So they laid me. They took me to the bag. I changed into the paper gown. They started the IV drip. Not sure what the purpose of the IV is before surgery, but they always do that. They've done that with both of my surgeries. That's normally what anesthesia comes in and does. So I think it's something that has to do with the anesthesia. So they started the IV drip. I think Palladino came in about maybe 15 minutes later. And when he came in about 15 minutes, I will say that I feel like he was rushing to get me in the OR. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my mind, this is the first time I'm meeting my actual surgeon. So he wasn't rude or anything. He was nice, you know, but I just sensed that, you know, and mind you, when I went in, when he came in, or when I went to the back before they started the IV, it was 2 more girls waiting outside to go to him. And before I went in, he had already done like 2 or 3 girls. Or they had went in before me. Like, all of us were lined up. So that's probably why I got a crappy job, because of the time of day, and he was rushing on me to get the rest of these girls out. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was just too much going on that I was so over it, okay? So he was nice, but I sensed like it was a sense of urgency. So I had my phone back there before I put it in my little bag with my belongings, and I was trying to show him the pictures, and he didn't even really look at the pictures, honestly. And they were realistic results for my frame. That's why I said I'm going to add before and after pictures. My frame, I've always had hips in a smaller waist. My waist wasn't as small and drastic as it is now, but I feel like I've always had a, you know, hourglass figure. That's just what it's been. You know, of course it was a natural hourglass, so a natural hourglass is not going to be as dramatic, you know, as, you know, whatever. But if I would have went to a bomb surgeon, I would have needed 1 round. Like, I would have never had to go to dough bag, you know? And then people be like, oh, there's fat restrictions on what they can take out. Baby, he could have got me right if he knew what he was doing. Or if he did what he needed to, and he didn't. The word spoke. I'm gonna put the pictures in here. But anyway, so I was showing him the pictures of how I wanted to look, the shape of booty I wanted, this, that, and the other. And he just kind of glanced and was like, got it. You know, he was like, yeah, no, I got it. And then, so I'm like, he's telling me this. I'm excited. I'm like, oh, whatever. Okay, I'm letting him mark me up. You know, he's asking me like questions as he's doing it, telling me what we gonna do, this, that, and the other. He drawing all this stuff on me, y'all. He was drawing all this stuff on me, all these lines. I'm like, oh, he for real from the snatch. Because it was just like, oh, circle this, take that, remove that, enlarge, plus. I was like, oh, when I looked in the mirror, because there's a mirror there. I looked in the mirror, I said, oh, he's gonna get me right. He's gonna get me right. So I was like, okay, at this point, you know, I'm feeling better. He leaves. 5 minutes later, so that was the only encounter I had with him before surgery, before I laid on the table. And that marking up process lasted maybe all of 10 minutes. And maybe I'm giving it too much time, but it lasted maybe all of 10 minutes. And it was a sense of urgency. Like I said, it just, you know, you can feel energy and stuff. I felt energy, and I felt like it was just like, I got to get this done so I could go on to the next type thing. That's how I felt it was. Me, again, thinking nothing of it. I'm just excited to get a new body, you know. So I go into the OR, he does the surgery. I woke up in so much pain. Like, I was in and out of consciousness, like waking up. So I really don't remember much. The anesthesia really took a toll on my body. I was swollen. I was like really swollen. My face had swelled up. I didn't even look like myself right now. Like, I don't know what it is about general anesthesia, but both times, like, my face always swells up, and you know, it's just, it takes days for the swelling for me to look like myself again, which is really scary. But I was like in and out of consciousness. I don't really remember what happened. All I know is I remember waking up, and I remember coming to, and when I came to, it was like 4 people walking me to the car. My mom was pulled in the back. Like, my mom's car was in the back, and they was putting me in a car. And I'm like, at the time, you know, I'm not thinking nothing of it, but now it's like, dang, how the hell did it? I'm thinking now, like, did I literally had just got off the table and, you know, they put me in the car? Because I know at New Life, when I went to Dr. Dobak, like, there's a recovery room that you wait in. Like, I woke up in a recovery room, and I was getting up out the bed because I got the cell saver. I'm telling y'all, if y'all gonna get surgery, you need to get the cell saver, honestly. So, because I just saw the difference in recovery wise. Like I said with Dobak, I got the cell saver, and I was getting up out of the recovery bed. I was in pain, but it was more like uncomfortable than pain because they had me on my butt. And so I was like literally trying to lift myself up and scoot to the edge of the bed to stand up and go to the bathroom, because I was calling for a nurse, but my voice was so hoarse because, you know, when they take the tube out for the anesthesia, that no one was hearing me, and I had to pee so bad. I was determined. I was like getting up on my own, and when I had finally got up, she ran in there like she saw me, and she, you know, helped me out. But so I remember all of that with New Life, you know, waking up in the recovery room, and I'm like, why is it that with, you know, Mia Aesthetics, I literally just remember walking into the OR, laying on the table, waking up, going to the car. Like, I feel like it's literally like off the table to the car. Like, girl, I don't know what was going on with that. I don't know how they do it, but that was crazy, okay? I was in so much pain. Like, I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that's some of the worst pain. I don't know, even like if one day when I have kids, I don't even know if it's gonna be as bad as that. Like, I don't know, y'all, because that was horrible. But yeah, so there's that. So you don't really get to see your results. And this is what I tell a lot of women, a lot of you guys, you know, you inbox me, you know, you DM me, you know, you tell me like, I'm not happy with my results, this and the other. This is what's going on. And sometimes you can tell coming off the table, sometimes when a doctor did a botched job. Other times you have to give it a little bit of time. For most times, you have to give it some time. I would say at least 3 months, because I had so much swelling. A lot of these women, you have so much swelling. Your body's trying to get rid of fluid. You have like, it's just a lot going on. Your fat isn't really settled. You know, it's not like, you see what I'm saying? So I feel like you have to give these things time. I hit up Palladino at about, I want to say 2 months. I don't think it was a month out. I think it was about 2 months out. I felt like all of my surface swelling was gone. You might still have some internal swelling, but I feel like that's when all of like surface swelling was like, you know, going down and stuff. So as that went down at about 2 months post-op, I was looking at my butt, and I'm gonna include pictures in this video because I need y'all to know I was not tripping, okay? I'm gonna show y'all the real, the raw. I was not tripping. My butt was shaped so weird. So weird. Like, initially when I spoke to Palladino, I told him I did not want him to add any hips. I did not want him to add any hips because, as I told you all, I've always had hips my entire life. So I did not want him to add any hips. When he did add his hips, you can see where he added the hips at. They were so uneven. It was like a pocket of fat here, and then I'm adding pictures because y'all want to, people be like, oh, she's lying. She's lying. You'll see. So the hips were uneven. Like, they wanted them hips that don't lie. Like Shakira said, them hips was lying. Okay? Them hips was uneven. My butt, I don't know what he did. Like, it was like a cone type booty. It was coney. I'm a little teapot. Why did I have a cone booty, Palladino? The booty was coney. And then also, so my cellulite, I've always had cellulite on my butt before the surgery. And that's not on him. So I won't put that on him. That's not on him. I didn't know that, I'm thinking with the surgery, the cellulite goes away. And ladies, that's not true. If anything, depending on the size, the cellulite may enlarge. So, please be aware of that. But at the time, I thought he didn't do what he needed to do with that. And so I put that on him as well, because I thought when you get the surgery, it's supposed to, when we see the plastic booties, when we see that don't use the fat transfer, when we see them, they be looking nice and they don't be having cellulite. So that's what I was thinking. That's what I was equating and comparing it to, that of how it was supposed to look. And that's not what happens when you do the fat transfer. So I put that on him as well at the time. I don't do that now. So I'm sorry for putting that on you at the time, but you still messed up that other stuff, okay? But yeah, I'm gonna add the pictures. My booty was pointy. Let me get down to the waist. Let's talk about the waist, okay? The waist, it was so uneven. Like he had lipo one side more than the other. And you can see that. You could see that. And I was just like, what the heck? Like, what the heck? So it had got to the point where my front, like my upper and lower abdomen, he left so much fat. I was like, what did he do? Because I literally looked the same in clothes. Like, nobody knew I had work done. Besides the fact that I was telling everybody, of course, because I was excited. And, I wasn't ever one of those people that was, secretive about having work done. So besides the fact of me running my mouth and telling everybody, nobody could see a difference. Nobody. One of my friends was like, yeah, Egypt, you do have a butt. You do. Then I'm like, she's like, well, you got more than you had. Sis, it looked like I ate some collard greens and cornbread with my mama's sweet potatoes. That's what it looked like. You know what I'm saying? So there was that. So I reached out to him at about 2 months, and I told him all of my concerns, sent him the pictures. Honestly, I couldn't even get in contact with him. That was the thing, is like, after you have the surgery, after they take your money, like, talk to my surgical assistant, talk to that. And that's one thing I like about Dr. Dobak. Dr. Dobak, I have her phone number. If I have any issues, if I have any complaints, if I have anything, I have reached out to her about, whatever the situation is, and she gets back to you. Obviously she's busy, but she will get back to you in a timely manner. So her bedside manner is 5 stars, 10, okay? Yeah, very nice. But so back to Palladino. I couldn't, there was no email to contact him. There was no phone number. There was nothing. We had to get through the surgical coordinator. After waiting for the surgical coordinator to get back to me, whenever they got back to me, sent in pictures. She sent it to him and whatever. And it became well, you're not even 3 months out yet. Come back to me at 3 months. That's what they told me. He didn't say it in that rude way, but that's pretty much what she relayed to me. He was like, you're too early. Why are you even concerned about how you look right now? Like, come back in 3 months. And I'm like, really? Wow, okay. So I waited that other month. And when I came back at 3 months, I sent new pictures. And by that point, at 3 months, my butt had really started to soften up. Like, the fat one completely settled, but my butt was like soft enough, and the shape was weird. Like I said, I'm adding pictures and videos because I kept it all. The shape was weird. I still looked fat, like I had a whole gut. Like, let's be real. Like, if I wanted to, I could have easily lost weight, got in shape, and been fine without having surgery, right? That's not what I wanted to do. The fact that I paid money for that to still look like I need to go work out and, lose the weight and all of that type of stuff, that wasn't what I was into. I still had a gut. I had to literally suck my stomach in. I had to walk around sucking my stomach in, and it's just like you already go through an emotional roller coaster when you're on surgery, when you have surgery. Like, it's just like, you don't need that added stress. You don't need that added stuff. So, I showed him at 3 months all of my concern. Like, it was so much fat still hanging off my back. I'm like, what did you lipo? Like, he literally only lipo 360, none of this. I was like, bro, like, I was just disappointed. Like, I was disgusted with what I was seeing. And when I reached out to him at 3 months and showed him that and, talked about my concerns, it became, you look fine. I see where, and mind you, I'm still not talking to him. I'm still talking to the surgical coordinator. She's relaying messages back and forth. And she was like, yeah, he said you look fine. You don't need a revision, this, that, and the other. And I'm like, are you serious? Are you serious? And I actually heard that nowadays he don't do revisions like that either. He don't like to do revisions. My thing is, as a doctor, especially in this field, if you mess up, you mess up. You see what I'm saying? Like, I understand that, you know, everyone's not going to be completely 100% happy. You can't please 100% everybody. But at the end of the day, he knows that was wrong. You know that was wrong. You did not do a great job on me. You know that. Women to this day, you know, still go to him, which is fine. Go to your surgeon, whatever. And, you know, I'm in some Facebook groups, and I didn't know about all of this stuff, like, before I had surgery. And it's like, wow, I wish I had known, you know, then what I know now. But women be in Facebook groups showing his work off. I'm like, your booties are square. Yeah, like, you know, I understand. Like, I'm not trying to bring nobody down. So let me start there. I'm not trying to bring anyone down. That's not what I stand for. That's not who I am. I'm just here to be real. I can be as honest as I can be about my experience and how he wronged me, what he did to me. Period. That's it. So I'm in these groups. One is for particularly his dolls. And I joined that group because I wanted to see who else is, you know, are other people getting the results from him that, you know, whatever. And in that group, they literally be ranting and raving about him, you know. And it's like, I made a comment one time, I made a post one time, and I was getting drugged for it. You know, people had so much to say. And that's why I was like, you know what, from now on, I'm just not going to say anything about it. But no, I am going to say something about it. I look at his work that they be posting in the group, and I still don't see no improvement. In my opinion, them bodies is botched, you know, or there's not enough done, or they need multiple rounds, but they just be so excited. You know, it's people first time having surgery, so they just be so excited to go from where they were starting from to now this, you know. But he still ain't got it all the way together, so I don't advocate for him. I wouldn't go to him. You want to go to him, that's on you. You know, I'm not trying to stop nobody coins. I'm not, you know, doing none of that. Like I said, I can only talk about my experiences and how he was with me, what he did with me. That's it. Also, so because there is a BMI requirement, and he swore up and down he was not going to do, you know, the revision. Because there is a BMI requirement, I wanted to know. I kept trying to get the clinic. At this point, I had already left, and I'm back in California. I only stayed in Miami for a month, you know, so I'm back in California at this point. And I keep contacting the clinic like, hey, I need all of my paperwork, because at this point, I want to know, how many cc's did you put into my butt? Because it didn't look like, you know, like, did you do anything? How many cc's did you put into my butt? How many liters of fat did you take from me? That's what I wanted to know. You see what I'm saying? Like, they refused to give me that information. You know, they kept telling me, oh, you got to come into the clinic to get it. You got to come into the clinic. So, and I'm telling them I'm in California. You know what I mean? Like, how am I just going to come into the clinic? I said, can my mom come into the clinic and get the information? No, she can't come in and get it. You will have to come get it. I'm like, what? So I asked them, I said, is there any way you can email it to me? You know, whatever. Oh, no, we can't email because of HIPAA and this, that, and the other. But my thing about it is, you were going, and she said we couldn't email it because of HIPAA, and we would have to verify that it's you, your email, this, that, and the other. I'm like, how do we do that? Because you verified it was me when you sent the contract, you know, to me to sign to have surgery with him. Y'all verified it was me when y'all sent me my labs, and we were sending labs back and forth, and y'all verified it was me. You know, all that type of stuff. So how is it now that I'm asking for this crucial information after I've been asking for a revision because he messed up or didn't do what he was supposed to do? Now it's HIPAA this, HIPAA that. Y'all can't send me this. You know what I'm saying? So at that point, I was just done with the clinic, and I washed my hands. I wrote him a really nasty letter that I never sent to him. You know, because when we angry, we just do a lot of things when we're angry. And after, I'm glad I didn't send it when I was angry. You know, after I calmed down, you know, I thought, you know, the God in me was like, don't do that. I'm glad you got it out your chest, but you don't need to, you know, tear him down and, you know, send and say these nasty things. So I never sent it. In fact, I deleted it, and I'm glad I did. It's probably in my email draft somewhere. Who knows? Maybe one day I'll send it. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, so I just washed my hands with the clinic, and I was done with them, their unprofessionalism, all of that. I was done with him and his lack thereof of delivering results. And I had just decided I was going to find another surgeon, and that's when I started doing more and more research, and I found Dr. Doback, who saved my life. All right, ladies, so this is where the fun part begins, the moment of truth, what you all have been waiting to see, what you all have been asking for. So this here is my natural shape. Like I said, I've always had hips, and what I consider an hourglass figure. This is when I was working out before any surgery. Now, upcoming is still my natural shape before surgery, but after weight gain, after having too many drinks, after being, in a relationship, having happy weight, all of that types of stuff. So you kind of see where, how big I went, but I still wanted to give you ladies, an idea of the shape that I had. This is my natural shape after losing some of that weight before any type of surgery, before any type of procedures. And this here is going to be 30 days before I actually had surgery. So you can see I still got my hips. I had a gut. I really needed him to, focus on my waist. This is after round 1 with Dr. Palladino. You see I still had my gut. Even standing up is like I couldn't tell a difference even outside of clothes. He lipoed literally only 360. What was going on with my up top? I looked like a linebacker. Oh my gosh, the cone booty. Here we go. I was so embarrassed to add the rest of the stuff that, pictures and stuff I had. This is after Dr. Dalbeck I found her. She saved my life. Girl, now I got that boom. Look at that. Boom. Flat stomach on flat, flat. What is that? Okay. Stomach flat. Hips sitting how they need to be. The booty sitting how it needs to be, stacked. Ass and titties, girl. Loving it. Yeah, so these are just pictures of me. I just kind of wanted to give you guys an idea of, where I started from and where I felt like I could have been in one round. And this is me currently, y'all. I've been eating and drinking and doing what I want to do. So this is me after weight gain, and I still look good, although I am working on losing. I'm just so happy that I was able to find Dr. Doback and, get results that I wanted. I am going to get more work done in the future. I'm not sure if I'm going to go to Dr. Doback or not. I feel like I'm going to go to Colombia. And whenever I go, I am going to take you guys on a journey with me, so y'all can see everything. And y'all know I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to tell y'all everything. Again, I know this video was a little bit lengthy, but thank you guys for watching. And don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'm going to be doing more BBL stuff really soon. So, like I said, make sure you subscribe. I'll leave all the links to my social media down below as well as in this video. And see you guys next video. Bye.